Cosa?
Do you know
Do you know the seven one of the two folders of giving rise to bodhicitta, like the six causes and one effect? Have you already listened to this? Good.
I mean, I've heard about it a long time back.
Many people come. Hello, everyone online.
Oh, so
Recording? Okay. Okay.
What's that?
Yeah.
That's number to Samala, Tombodilla, Danzo, the Judith Sobaga, and the Bishi Yonsu Zobada, that's all me Yonsu Zobi, Savishiti number to Samala, and the Sandrish daily show.
First of all, welcome everyone. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. In name of all Geshes of Shide, so the Shide, this group is a group of Geshes, and so in name of all of us, I welcome you.
That Dombo Walla Danazo Dinzida, and so you want the Soba de Musiki, you Mevaina, because of the Didi Cherum. Didi.
Okay, before starting our class, so because there are some new people here, and so I'm gonna give a very brief explanation of Shide, this group. Okay, so this group was born last year, in the end of last year, with the purpose of collecting the knowledge of all these geshes. For now, there are 16 geshes. And then they have this amazing knowledge accumulating after 23 years of studies. And then they really felt that it's very beneficial to help others in their achievement of well-being through their psychological and philosophical knowledge. So for this reason, they decided last year to start this group. And the main aim of Shide is really to helping others to achieve the well-being, physical and mentally, mostly like mentally, emotionally well-being through the philosophical and mainly philosophical and emotional knowledge. Okay, more psychological knowledge within Buddhism philosophy. Okay, and also not just through like Buddhist religions, but also if it's necessary through like more ethical secular approach. Okay, so this is the main aim in order to achieve this. And so there are classes just like here, attending demands, requests. So classes of psychology, philosophy, and so forth. And also for some people, because most of them, they speak just in Tibetan. And so they teach Tibetan language in order to people deep their knowledge in this Buddhist philosophy, or also they are learning other languages like foreign languages for in the future being able to speak directly to the foreigners without relying on translators. Okay, so this is the first floor in this house here where they live, and below before used to have the classes also, but from tomorrow, so the class will be 2 houses after. It's very near, no problem, after we show. Okay. Yes, it's like that. Bienvenida. Welcome. She's from Ecuador. Yes.
The Dombo de la number 2 the Shia so Boba and Keba and New Go Sonrambas, Sonrambas, Yuri, New Go Sonrambas, Sonrambas. Lamachire. 공고 송고 나노라 지카르도지 디간라 가장에 디네로 디간라 디나라 데치도 가르레지 디간라 라출라나 데바수스 다 라출라나 데바수스 디카르레지 아주 추제니 지바이나 데바도 베키치 모레서
There is one very famous Tibetan scholar called Nyingpo Sorampa that he says, in order to practice Dharma, the inner transformation, it's very important to have faith.
Yeah. 다 무출라니 아니 트라우데스. 당어서 직대 고다 직대 맞이 임바이나 나서 춘직대 니스 지금 직대 맞이 임바이나 트라우덴도 뺏기치 모레스. 트라우보 덴바지야.
So in order to practice the inner transformation or Dharma, it's important to have faith. In order to have good mundane activities, in order to do good mundane activities, it's very important to be 100% honest.
아니가 라니 미르지스. 다도나 추제니 추바지 임바이나레 추바마이미 그때니 고 직된가 konjikten bachi nare niga la tsu karres mi yakbo mi sambo ki cheshores.
And the third line is, in order to accomplish and to practice both, either Dharma and either mundane activities, it's very important to be a good person.
Yeah. Ani tsu somni de la gus. Donda karres digala taki deba dang ani karza dangden dang miji yakbo. 그래서 처음부터 쭉 가르레지 디가라 밀라 대송가고 그래서 대송 미비찬이.
And then lastly, in order to be a good human being, we have to accomplish all of the previous one. You can sit here. Yes, we do. We do. No. Hey, Lucia. Hello, everyone online from Brazil, 6 a.m. in the morning of Sunday. Good morning.
Yeah. 그래서 가르레지디가나다.
Hello.
여기
from Malaysia.
이치세나면도 돈다 가르사 대바세나 돈다 수우데 이치세고 이치 대바세나 이치세고 이치당 아니 장된당 뭐시 약보데 아주 춘지때 술레임바 있나요? 미치 신절때 고그레스.
And also it's very important to, when you say in the first line, the faith in order to practice the inner transformation or Dharma, it's very important to have faith, right? We said this. But how can you understand faith? Isn't this, you have to understand like being the trustful relationship. You have to trust. In order to be a good person, also, you really have to trust to others.
Yeah. 인송자 당아주 주 미약보 미상보 미야랍 제아데 주가르 라투기요레 지디간 고 링아니가 아드니 자와체도 삼로 당당 텔레투기요르와 디나니 장수데 삼로 야고치 요바이나 아니 미타란신가 삼보치 차기요레스.
And in order to be a good person, as you said before, it's important to be a good person, right? In order to be a good person, all the actions of body, speech, and mind, all the words and all the thoughts and the physical activities that the person does has to be it will show if it's a good or not good person. So it's good to change the way of thinking in order to be a good person.
Yeah. 다 삼로 삼보 시티간라가죠. jandaji chilola dine samlo tayo mari samlo sambo de so samlo tang de garrezi de zu de ta de tiringa so kausa baba ani chamse ko roza de ta so go chi samlo sambo chi yong gu yo ba ne chamse de chizum to so sem ga nalo la yo ba ina ti so go samba sambo chalo ya samba sambo chizum chawa de so mi de sambo chalo ya.
And in order to transform the way of our thinking, is not transforming or changing the external conditions, right? Transforming our thoughts is working inside. And how to work inside is to improving our thoughts, the way of how do our mind abide. And in order, if our mind is transformed to a virtuous state, so that person will naturally become a good person.
Yeah. The songs number 2 that you also Yamakashigirina and Gyaltsen said that Nimarega Masaketa and Nalo Lame also Kanikadichini Yamlet Chigo Yores, that Dili Korlea, and you number Soreva Javi and Sonza, and the Chigani in the count of Jotogotoni, Titol number Solea. And
because it's in order to be a good person, we have to transform to a virtuous way, our way of thinking. One of the most important way to transform is through cultivating of love and compassion. And because of it's very important to cultivate this state in order to be a better person. So that's the reason that also we receive these. We have this kind of requests here, so from you and also from others that also support you in this request. And so we will do our best for a few Sundays in order to accomplish your demand, your request. Okay?
Yeah. I am the Pori Joseo Machawan number to Katikati Tua Katikati Tua Liberty Tanaro cheese. Mazo Zu the Carres, the Boli Rang number of Tony, Doina, Yaboyo Sonza, Chicken Tua Tilinazo Talajana, Tua Tilimitiso, Jata Jacho, Nayati Pori, Yanji, Chiwata Suzo Katikati Tua.
And please feel free to ask anytime, okay, and interrupt us anytime. You don't need, we don't follow that. We can just leave questions and answers for the end, but I think it's better as long as we are talking, and then all the suggestion or doubts and so forth, please do ask directly.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would Geshe?
There was in the Yonde Gawatalia.
Faith in Buddhist philosophy, psychology texts, is that faith is that mental factor that rejoice on the top of the qualities of the object that it's aiming, is visualizing. So when you see a person or an object that has many qualities that one wish to achieve, so this very rejoice mental factor calls faith.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that just a rejoice. Doesn't mean that all sensations of rejoice and like the likeness of something. Doesn't mean that all of the like or rejoice means faith. But definitely faith is the sensation of rejoice in qualities of, because some of the rejoice or liking of some qualities is also out of attachment, that we like people situations. So Gawa Serna. What is rejoice? Gawa Serna. Gostar.
Gawa Serna. Building Pasho the meeting, Tony, Delia, so same the bar, Nibo Chaya, Tonda Pasho Delia, Modini Chaya Yore, young co who was Zorta, but in the Damada Tony, Pasho about and Gabo East, Odini Yorua.
When we look at an object, when we say object in Buddhist philosophy and psychology, doesn't mean object like physical object, okay? Anything that we look for or we think about, so the object of our mind, when we look at this and we see the qualities, any kind of quality can be like more good qualities, inner qualities, can be a better understanding in language or whatever. So when we see a quality and we wish to achieve the same quality in our own continuum, so this sensation is called faith. Okay?
Yeah. But then Chikare City Gala also then present who got the cardiac. But you take Ganala Yoga day, some Mayima. So Nimari must be tiny chip down. Not dig on its Sona Carchons the Gala. 이 대변나라 강요받아 나초고 니마리가 뭐세 소비나는 내가 매번 전에 송고요. 내양도 직보고 뭐도 대변나라 요바 대변나라 요바레스. 나초고 니마리가 냠네 내가 로가 요바로 삼로 당샤나 이 전에 로조제 맞지. 아니도 삼로 대변나라 강 요바 강 삼로 니디 당고래서 내 나신그 소소고 생래 장들 어떻게 보여지.
And it's,
마도 대변 소소고 니마리가 뭐세 계단 니 내가 매번 차송바이나
Mhm.
And
And it's very important for all of you. And advice is anything that you read in books and so forth, within the psychology and so forth, anything that you read in the books doesn't mean that it's completely separate from one's own life and one's own practice in daily life. Like, oh, I'm reading and understanding all of this in this book, but in my daily life is completely different. This is a completely misunderstanding on how to read that text or how to study the text. So, and I have this sensation that many people do like this. They study a lot, but they don't put into practice. They don't really internalize this. This is 100% wrong way of studying or practicing this psychology.
저런저 무기 빈소 그때 인전나라 용되니 저 고사리. 아니 가르에서 되게 갈라 요즘 딘디게 때부터 주드 셰고나시레스. 셰고나신 송자 땅을 저 가르에서 셰고나를 따와이나 소소가 동바 초당 주기도 무도 양치 소소 전당년도 임바이나 소소 대도서라 초약고련도 이름도 셰고를 따나 따다 소소 동바를 교요메도 둘로 건동도 참아도 그 셰고를 따나 따다 통도 어데 나지 디 데프트 셰고나시레스 그 셰고가 나노라 디디치니 따온데 간라야 가리오 말에 디데브 나노라 따온데 디리치라 삼로다나 디 큐레스 디니 삼로다나 야보요레스 어 디니 지몽보 지송고요 데 송바 나신데 소소가 제샤바이나 타가나
Some of you maybe already came to my classes in the library. Geshe Gyaltsen is one of the teachers in the library. So some of you that already came in the classes in the library maybe already heard about. What I used to say is books is just like a mirror. So the mirror, what reflects this mirror? Exactly what you have here. And so if you, exactly your behaviors and your understandings is exactly what is reflecting in the books, and not only this, opposite. So what is written in the book has to reflect one's own action and one's own thoughts. For example, if we have our face like with makeup or with different drawings and so forth, how our face will be reflecting the mirror. It's going to be exactly like that. And so if you have to appear or show a better face, and so we have to in the mirror, so we have to transform here, right? When you wake up, do you see your face in a mirror? Like, do you see your beard and your hair and so forth? Do you look at them?
Sometimes when there's
Sometimes. This is our reality in monasteries. Do you, Geshe Gyaltsen is asking, do you usually look at your own face morning time when you wake up? What do you see? Online also, please answer, okay? No, it's true, isn't it? When we wake up and we look at our face, we see everything that is here. If it's dirty or if it's something nice and so forth, we immediately see in the mirror, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, then I send the cars. The so no car yore sitigana. So samlotan, dini samlotana kyore. Dini samlotana ani ko yabore is in it. They've gone on the Janja song de wore. So kyun the dona. Dig con dinala kyore is at the sozola dumundu samlotan. Then dinala kyoin, but the sozola tetara yovaina, sozola tikyun the yote. That is Juratan kyore is. Kyoina tin Juro Kati Tangores. You're on the Tangores in the Sodo.
No, it's true. It's exactly like at least this is my really experience here. When I read at the books and the book says, oh, this is a bad behavior. This is a bad way of thinking. Oh, so if in the book is written that it's a bad behavior or it's a bad way of thinking, oh, do I do this, or do I have this kind of bad thinking or not? I have to check here, not just only in the book. And then, oh, so I just realized now that I have a bad habit or a bad way of thinking. Okay, so how do I transform this? So in the book also is saying the way of transforming the bad habits or bad way of thinking. So because in the book is written, then how can I practice here?
Yeah. That goes about Gyaltsen. That Gyaltsen is the kind of chamba dang nije donda dig donda dang so chik tambo ngole karishingo re the kind of ni chamba dang the nije ni ngo koron senye de yago ji shingo re de yago ji shin somba ina da chamba dang sewa ja de na so de samlo dang ba ina susula kesan kariyo re pendo kariyo re o de ding ibir shingo re
And this goes also. Okay, so for this reason, we are today presenting about these two minds, mind of love and mind of compassion. Okay, these two minds actually they are the same nature or the same essence, but they have different definitions or different way of explaining. Okay, these two ways. So first of all, before even starting the class, we have to understand what means love, what means compassion.
Yeah. Tawana jamba dang niji ni ngo karrezi ngaro chu karndo kuyore maso ndoja chu karrezi na dewan maso dewan do kuyor ta nge dewan do ba na ngaso changma ge dewan do ba chikbar de sonza ko kando cha ge dewa de semje gandi chila yina ya koru kando cha ge dewa ta ta chi niburde yong gundu sambi donda ko dewo china tele ya jamba se.
So love and compassion. Love is what all of us we want, what everyone exactly the same wish. We wish to be happy, right? We wish to be like to have well-being, right? And so this very mind that really wish not only for oneself but to everyone to accomplish what everyone wants, that is to be happy. And the causes of this happiness, this very not mind but the mental factor, the secondary mind that wish this calls love.
Yeah. Da nije se on the gala karre se ngaso mundoya te karre. Ngaso kam mundoya te dumur. Dumur chuni ndoko yo mar. Ngeya dumur ndoko yo mare. Ngaso tsama ge dumur donye sukan yo mare. Rebaya. De dumur ndoko me sonza da nije se ate karre se. O dumur kandi chi imba ina kola mayo wa shos. O dumur kandi chi imba ina niberta meba chagu du sambi o diniga samlo chilia nije la. Da to ko dewo jina.
Okay, so everyone wants to be happy, right? Nobody wants what? Suffer, or nobody wants any unwell-being or any discomfort, right? So because nobody wants to suffer, let's resume in this word. And so the mind of compassion is not only for oneself to be the wish to be completely free of any kind of suffering, but also is that mind that wish to everyone to get rid from any kind of suffering, any way of suffering, and its causes. This is the second mind, so love and compassion.
So,
okay.
Yeah, jamba
love.
Jamba zena kandi chiga.
So what is love, please?
The wish to be happy.
The wish to be happy, not only for oneself, for everyone.
Ninja.
And compassion.
Wish is to be free from suffering.
Just others?
No, and ourselves.
And
choices.
Okay.
Sama.
Everyone, please. You can speak in Portuguese, in Spanish, whatever.
The suffering from others. Remove the suffering of others.
Ane shembagi dungel tandrawa shos chiparang mari. Shembagi dungel ngateliaings.
Naleon, they on Tentobo, Tanazo Nije was and Tanda Dumur the drivers, Dumur the dread of nature in some of the Kurtu Leon the Gala, that Niji Chimboya, Niji Yamlet Tentombo channel, Tanazo Capsa Papa, Alegazo Nimarega, so the Masegan and Yamselen Tobiaga, young Dio Korchik, Le Tambo, what the Sugar, Nimarega Nanola, 그 강념의 제 토약 거든.
Mhm.
즉시 보므로.
Yes, when you wanna have this desire of I be the one who get rid of others' sufferings, this is a very high level of compassion that we call the great compassion. Now we just started by talking about the very nature or the very principle of the mind of compassion, which is, yes, I want to see everyone free of suffering and its causes, me and others, right? And so this is for us beginners. But it's yes.
야. 제가 딘디인 손자 고니 잠바다 니지가 모두 딘디치 바이나 오나 잠바다 니지에서 수수 간사라로 수수가 냠는 제바이나 다 펜도 가려요래잖아 펜도 당보도 가려야지 사미야다 샹다 그래와 랑신 참마 등와다 저거 쇼스데 쟁그 체대야 삼로 등도 이나야 계산 당보도 수라 그래서 수수그라 그래서
And then you say, okay, now we are studying about or learning about love and compassion. But then what about if I feel like love and compassion? What is the benefit for myself? One can ask oneself this, right? Like in my daily life, what is the benefit of feeling love and compassion? Well, if one really understands that since everyone wants to be happy and nobody wants to suffer, and then I strive myself to live in this pattern. So the first, the thought is how good it would be everyone to be free of suffering. But the very first beneficiary, how can I say, the benefit, the first person who benefit from this thought is oneself. Like this.
잠바당 니제도 수수가 냠는 지금 제와 뒤초가 주가래즈 수수라 계산 간디진이라고 그래서 당보들라 수수
And why the first benefit comes here? Because is this very mind is the cause to reduce the fear. And what is the relationship between love and compassion and reducing our fear? Well, why we feel this fear in daily basis? Because we think, oh, he's gonna harm me. He's gonna tell bad about me. I'm gonna lose this and that. All of about me. And so if we really think about others, and so this selfish mind will reduce immediately.
Yeah. Da so jamba dang ninji tindiga ko nimare ko dindichine gum dewaina nyamleche dewaina 가려요래 지금 상마도 소소단 샘다 니보 하고서 소소단 샘다 니보 donda 지금 소소단 지금 제와 니보로 지금 상마 차노 그래 소 삼로 당당 게 돈.
Why? Because when we in daily basis again and again slowly we habituate in this loving and compassionate pattern of thinking, right? We feel like that everyone is same, and not only that everyone is same, but we feel like closeness to everyone else. We don't feel like too far. We feel that we are very close to everyone, and so we don't feel that he will necessarily harm me and so forth.
Yeah. 가르rel라와이나 지 소소 지점 그 파쇼도 저다 지 소소 샘다 니보단 레와 니보 차와 디초가 Kola mubi jenande. So kola mubi tarnanda jenande shikshoni do shagrava.
Because when we feel very close to everyone, when we feel like emotionally close, and even like in a close relationship to others, when we look at that person, we don't feel fear, right? We are not afraid when we are close or visualizing that person, right?
Yeah. 다양치 가려래서 되거나 어느 딘디 임바이나 나와서 너샤 되게요. 봐줘 소소 잡아께서 유르다 니보 제와 니보서 놓았어. 딘베이나요. 아니 지금 너샤야 나 지금 식침보이 어디서 소소 제난도 도그레벨람나.
And then you can ask yourself, well, attachment. The other mind attachment, because of attachment we also feel very close to that person, right? And then out of attachment, because we feel very close, do you think also that we can ask ourselves, maybe also the attachment can reduce fear in our mind?
Yeah. 단 너차다 니제니 코니 라오 Rasa chigores, rasa.
Mhm.
Rasa chigariores in a nije de ya, sozo nije kesa yurda dan, sozo nida, dreva nibosogores.
Mhm.
And in docha de ya, cares and docha kesa yurda dan, sozo niboda, dreva nibosogores.
Mhm.
De kunik chilin rawores.
Driva niebo tam?
Same
Driva
time
niebo,
nibo,
same time.
dreva
Mhm.
nibo.
Mhm. Well, if you compare attachment and these two minds, love and compassion, they both have a similar part, a similar point, which is both of them, they really feel close to the object, right? Both of them, they feel close to the object of attachment or of love and compassion, right? This is the common point.
Yana dili, there's a pain of you, Gonishanaro. Docha dan, niji nigala, jersey. Jersey chili the kuniga chikbares, jersey was so jarshakdo, dilla de jing the shing da chat to the Pajarshadigan, Pasho shin the Nisho shin the Nipan de Jado, Penade, the Soybaina, Koti, jersey on a jersaticana, Trapo de Glo, for did the Dinipe, Lila Kotum Roa, Copa did jersey chili de, Niji Dandocha Nigala, Chikbayores.
It's just like I usually like to use the example of glue, glue. So just like love and compassion and attachment, they are just like glue. Why they are glue? Because they sort of attach, they glue the two objects, like the one who is feeling attachment or compassion and the object of the sensation. So they attach just like the glue that attach this wood and this, all of the parts of this wood. And so likewise, compassion, love and compassion, and also attachment, they sort of they attached to the object of visualization.
Yeah. Benada, Tanga she cancer de Dosha Shimbo Sonza, Susu pe Pasho de Chindoshan to Kini, Dinigin Pachi, Sozo Doba the Pasha the Chinjar Sombaina, Lilo Koto, call Pachi, Doba the six Sombaina, Doba six. Imbaina ko, same the Kolapa, Doja Kesa Yet the Chicha Sombaina.
Just like people like me, that I feel very strong attachment. And so when I look at the object of my attachment, I just want to be very close and I don't want to be separate from that object, right? Because this is this function of glueness of my attachment.
Gomjung Nyua to Yin Sonza, Roya, Ko Karrezi di Gala, Docha de Kanye Kanichi, Susu Pasha the Pendoba the Six Hadikana, Deta Kateri on the Galea, Semlia, Kanye, Shivich, Kashi Mu, Takashi Pash, Soso Gawata Pet Kater on the Gan, so the Ranshi Javala Sopa Dindi, Chero, the Karrezi the Pasha the Lampe, Doba Pedicapa, Zikta, Chono on the Gan, Kota Kater at the Kapuchano.
Yeah, just like people like me that I'm still too attached to, and so it's very easy to me to see myself like just gluing or just suddenly always being together with the object of my attachment and sort of striving or struggling to even think of separation of that object.
Oh yeah. On that didn't yembaina, Dan Docha Dan Niji Chabram Doazina, Kunyichibari Lamna.
And then you can ask, so attachment and compassion, attachment and love is the same. You can ask yourself.
Chibatsawan in the Maris, Tatinani, Mombo, Chabramombo, Yurina, Chiglaw, Chigarlaw Yenzina, Pena, Docha the Pajo, so the Chavakis a year the Lapa and Jando, Garik Cheteris, Soso Chet. Soso Cheteris. I was on Docha de, so the Chavakis a year the Lapa, Jando. Karakari Cheterism, Soso Cheteris. Ninja, so the Nijis are your Pelapan Janre, Kari Cheterism, Cook Cheteris, or the Cabra.
Well, attachment and love or attachment and compassion, they are 100% different. They share this common characteristic of glue. Okay, only thing, but there are so many other characteristics different. I can share with you one of them, right? So when the object of attachment or love, we want to keep them very close, right? Why? Because of my own benefit, in order to benefit my own desires, this very mind is the mind of attachment. I want to be very close to that person out of their benefit, in order to benefit the object, that person, so forth. This mind that think like that is the mind of love and compassion.
Quick question. When you say object of love or object of attachment, do you mean that thing out there that's evoking this sensation of wanting to be close, or evoking this feeling of I want them to be happy? Is that what you mean?
Mipa da kadrina kranso mipa yemena yulja di do chagi yuli meno do chagi mipa pima pola vida. Mipa ram kareres. Mipa latina ngato do chala sopa kedo gyure mipa kares. Are you attached to women or to anyone who you feel like sensual attractive? Do you feel sensual attractness to someone? Someone? Okay. 인대. No. He says. Okay.
제가 걔랑 강 저바 계사가 유 아니 보모데 가르에서 무바디 차. 저바 계사 유 가르에서는 너네 거기로 저바 계사 유 보모데 다가나 무바디 차.
So because yes, of course, we are all attached to someone, you said, right? Or something like that. And then you say, and then so the person that you feel like attracted to, that you wish to be close to, the very person who give you arouse this sensation is what we consider object of attachment or love and so on.
그래서 다가 나진 그 배나 가반으로 질러 소소 차바식 침보는 무바가 유르데 가르즈네 가반.
Just like if you are too attached to our own mobile, our own mobile, we really want to be close all the time to the mobile. So the mobile is the object of your attachment.
맞죠? 단단히 요사들라, 맞죠? 근데 요사들라 가르라고 그래서는 감숨거나니 노감, 노비감 라면 가르즈 맞죠? 배디 자물리 단자물리도 세고 말이 이나야 나가서 요사 다도 상말이야 노바와라 비간 하지는 배 노바 배 식심부 요사래라고 다도 가르란 노바 요래지다 주다 지로 레자 주 땡아볼래야 배 착바식 식심부 요 송자 맞죠 민코론래야 노바와라.
So the place, not the physical place, but where we live, where we abide here, certainly the dimension or the realm where we live here. Is usually Senshin means live in three kinds of realms or dimensions. So the first realm or dimension calls the desire realm. Okay, and doesn't mean that it's just this planet Earth, but anyway, just leave this where it's like that. But all of us, we live in this desire realm or desire dimension. Okay, why? Because why is desire realm? Because all of us, we have in our continuum a very strong attachment, a very strong, not just wish, attachment towards what? Towards the object of the five senses. Object attachment towards visual object and smells and sounds, and then physical sensations and so forth. And so because we are all we have this naturally very strong attachment to these five sense objects, and so that's the reason that we all abide now in this desire realm.
Yeah. 제가 대응하고 간호 소소 간이 지람 어머니 차바기고 반 유르트 대응하고 간호 찬.
So when we visualize or when we think about, when we look at any of these five objects, then give rise to this attachment.
Does an object need to be like a sensual object, or can it also be like ideas? Can I be like, I have the feeling I'm sometimes attached to my ideas or stuff?
zuda na bote nga zo namjigum thonde ya tu de derwa ma do tagana ngala chabi chaba ni tawala chabi chaba ni chulila chabi chaba tromthala soba that is what sama yore. Yes,
Yes, of course. Actually, in the very first explanation and easier explanation, we use the five sensual objects as an example. But yes, we are very attached to ourselves. We are attached to our identity, right? The non-existent identity, remember? So the non-existent identity we are very attached to our opinions, to our philosophical views, to our religions, and so forth. So we have infinite objects of attachment. And online, there is one question here also about fear. That is love and compassion a way to reduce insecurity or fear among people towards the other fellow human beings? Is love and compassion a way to reduce fear among people towards others? It is a way to enhance a harmonious relationship among human beings. Also, didn't understand. Is love and compassion a way to reduce insecurity and fear among people towards the other fellow human beings? And is it a way to enhance harmonious relationship among human beings? This is a question. Ani champata ninje dira ngato so shenang ngamtak ane nyampa ki taprebes digan di chiparamlares ngamta ti ani mishemba ki lamine ngamtak di nyampe tabrang rebes ani digan la ya champatang ninje di ngato ane tumpe trilam yapo yoya chidus ani tablam rebes.
Oh, peyago. Tagarang. Yes, the land la garres. Triva nido. Triva nidala. Yes.
Yes.
Azimo. Tagarone the wonder. Karze jena dopi tab yakshuch. Penavarso Muyoneta la Carriore, the pen of me, Pasha Jena, Chimbo, Dini, Tampe, Milia, and the Mimayimba did the cancer, did the Shugni, Pasha Jena, Chimbo, the Soleat and the Mishanda only didn't pay the Niji combine. Pasha the Ranching pay Solo Chado. Chesa, that de la sopa, Jimozo, Penaro and Yamyo Chicarios, Namana Sena Cola, De Jenando, not Chujucal, young Sena. Chinakondo, the young Senama Nika, Kakala, Genano, the Yugu. That is only to so the Jean Chimbola, Lojo, Diligent, Nijipe, Jivada Yamliche to Marita. There's the Nijit in the competition. They got Sena like Genano, the Dram Sena Cola Genano, the Tati, so Chicotica Gena, that's some of the Mevashasha. Money. They pay money. Gena, Doya, Tap, Yakshuji, Carrezitigan.
Yes, it's true that the way love and practice, understanding and practicing love and compassion is a way of reducing fear, right? Insecurity and fear towards everyone and everything, right? And I have my own experience here. When I was a kid in Tibet, I used mainly in nighttime, I used to have very big fear. I used to just woke up in the middle of the night, like with a very big fear attack or maybe panic or whatever. And but after a long time studying all of these, studying these texts, the Buddhist psychology and philosophical texts, now even in the very dark nights and so forth, when I'm completely alone in the middle of nothing, really, like I never felt this strong fear, this deep fear anymore.
Tagana shinga shifting Tsawanguni the Karezigana, Tagana Jamse, Matonga shifted Zamulila shifted go do in the Yikichimbo, Tini, Tumkurchi and Zamulila shifted go yos, Tape Yikichimbo, Chimbutini, K Jamnikasaka in the door. The Soya Tanguni Yakotare, Yimba in a Traz occasion, so not to marry Tony, Simba Juro Matomache, control that the Sama Rancha. Yimba Chololang, Zamli ship the Gugu, Zamli ship the Gugu in the cake, Jam, Zamli ship the Yoma. Nimasanda, Migo, Kurila Yopi, Mitus Sama ship the chak. And the Chera, not to some intelligent jumps go by no turning some ship the river, Jayon. De Majoche, Jamsil La Juni Yamajoche, and the Chaloshin in Zamli ship the Yongo do Lana. Young Mevajiro. These are jumps, because I should think it's our young jumps to do.
And also so many we see nowadays in our world so many people protesting and asking for world peace all around, like holding the, what's the name of this thing? Placards or signs, so forth, of world peace, we want world peace and so forth. But from one side is okay, of course it's good to just protest and manifest, we want world peace and so forth, of course it's good. But many people do this, but in their own heart, they don't touch it, they even don't want to know if they are full of hatred, full of attachment and so forth, right? And so just screaming, manifesting, it's not useful at all. On the other hand, if you can start practicing love and compassion, a more loving and compassionable attitude, right, in our daily life towards our own small family, and then with our neighbors, and then big relatives and friends and so forth. And so we transform that small community, right, small community, to a more compassionate atmosphere among everyone else. So then there is a reason, and there's a reason to ask or to practice a more peaceful world, not only not practicing love and compassion attitude and then just screaming peace word, there is no sense.
영 코리 송조 제고레즈네 딘데 끼잠나 깨구지 펜도요마 다 코리 송조 가디 제고레즈 가서 머랭머랭 가서 도는데 디디 직쇼 몸보 페이죠 가서 다나 따가나 버저 코리 송조 제고라 소속은 직쇼 몸보 페이죠 다나 뱅요마 다가 나신게 다 코리 송조 제고나 가서 머랭머랭 사마고 신이나 마지 아니 직쇼도 소이나 가서 토도 그 머랭머랭 페이죠 용리 땅 디니지 배나 나서 디 링가로 디니도 되게 고소라 디 자동사데 소소소 나니 키용으로 지스 소 키용 배나 가서 디 니그디 동사데 요고 다그 칼라자사도 소소 나니 토마다 참마 키용 배나 요고 다 테마인디 가나 디 총과 나니 디 칼라자사다 자동사다 토마다 참마 요 마제 뉴냐냐 다 레온디 가나 유긴도 칼라치자사데 가나 참마 마이에 참마도 코리글라 no jodo odini mombo ngaron niso ga ngaso penadi chobat ya di lenga do dia karsi ni me chana to ti karsa ti dera da ni nyona shogo de nyoro chila ti kala yang ko so jigte nyoleng chata tini do che di oina koi sonju ka so ke jamna phengo maro ta koi sonju che ko ngaso sama ngen khud koi sama so de che baina koi rangsing ga
Likewise, when we protest about environment, clean environment, or better cleaning environment in this planet, we keep saying it's clean environment and so forth, but then in daily routine, we keep using plastics, and then we keep accumulating so many stuffs, right? For example, even here, we are taking some coffees and chais and so forth, look at how many plastics we have here. But or even sometimes when we do some picnics here, sometimes we have this gathering outside in the picnics. I usually ask, please bring one's own cup and so forth, in order to accumulating less garbage. Because even if I ask, please bring paper cups and so forth, people we bring plastic cups or plastic plates. And so we still we keep saying one thing, but in our own daily practice we sort of we are opposite. So if you can really in one's own little bubble, act exactly as we think is better. It's a good start.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, so sometimes the world is from a place of ignorance, or from a place of even sometimes bad intent, is not so friendly, and sometimes you can see that the world leaders and just the people act in a way that is very harmful to a lot of people you love, people just to, and then it's very, very hard not to, for me at least, not to feel anger. So it might be anger that comes from a place of really wanting good and wellness, and seeing something that in my perception is bad or is gonna harm.
Mhm.
And then, so it's a very specific kind of anger.
Mm.
So I was used to be the one with the signs for like 10 years.
Mhm.
It's not helping, I agree.
Mhm.
But still, the anger is there.
Mhm.
Like for the like,
Mhm.
how can you not see?
Mhm.
It's like there.
Mhm.
So the question is, how do you deal with that kind of
Mhm.
anger?
Da contro colla.
Mm.
Cetashina da perna na kirandila sara da zambolin yamena zambolin de samayoya tang ani shibde yoya chidus ane mikatso ke gyavna ane kilsi soso nana ni contro la sopa ni magurna pentaminder kran swimba nga lo chuki rila nga mi ditarangares nga pe man poke gyavyo yosra ine ande du karich ni sana kinsna da zambolin din na la mi du cha lewa mampo yobare chikchi ane zambolingi kare gilkap ki sizing na sopa pe mambo dukcha lewa mambo yo baresra farukulanga so yang gasa la sopa con so yang tis ducha cha drosi parera temba sonza con so ki chopa ki ducha la tane nga rang sing yol na iduda ane kontro leda lebgioresra ane inen karichni leson sana ke sna da pilcher chichena nge maripe wangi da sama ni maripe wangi ta garan chopa ducha cha gioresra inen chichena nga ya ni mashipe da wangi amena soso tawa wangis da konso yapo che giomares chichena nga yang dopa dinashin lepsi parera nga hakmaso inen da tanda netandina shira kantres kondo lango maresra kantres netandina shira ni mishemba gichopa dukcha la mine kantres lung langi o mare
Yes. 담보들 전화라 다 딘디게 토라 랭구르스 그러와 당아서 오 딘디치네 계기함니 다 딘디치 대소 그런 하진 거 야보다 딘디 인송사 델레야 무슬 그거니 투지치에스 담보들 그러와
First of all, just because you had this very pure and good motivation of really like manifesting against a better place, a better world and so forth, just because of this intention that you went to manifest this, thank you from the deep of my heart.
야. 다 임바이나 저런게 딘디게 레칼레와다 냠도 미샹다게 타기나시 진데 고 코리 톨로타다 뱀보이나르스 딘디게 미두께 몽보요 송사 드솔라 미니 소소게 레카디 야고치야 디 짐슨데 진이 파쇼고 몰라 콘롤랑 샤바이나 데 랑라 팽고 마라 샹달라 팽고 제나라 모페 마잠도 마세 피페네 제나 콜라 미니 콘롤랑 바이나 담보텔라 제나 페 카르잔 도 동바 페 제나 소고 자도 달라나 신게 저랑 삼로촌에 다음에 뭐 차로 가르레스디 간라 저랑 컨트롤랑 샤디 간라 소소 남지 셰럽 데지 삼로 당한도 어디니 요바이나야 아니 저랑 컨트롤랑 샤바이나 삼로 야부촌에 다토 메인 손사 데 컨트롤랑 지게 펜도용 말레스 컨트롤 말라미 차블라 야다 딘디도 솔레야 갑데 간디스 자고도 간디도 우치니 렌 자고도 어디서 남주 고페죠 당비 토니 고 갈레 탑시 딘디 지와이나 영 딘디가 몽보지 소소가 탑시 몽보라 그래 마도 디가 잡라 컨트롤 안에 되어이나 란시 사마나 마페마식대
So this is very good. It was because of the intention, it was very good. So thanks so much. It's good. But in order to manifest, in order to scream or manifest to something better, and then in order to do this, you come with anger. And then we become angry against the situation or that place or that person and so forth. I mean, it's going to harm you and others. I mean, it's not going to necessarily harm others, but it's not going to benefit to transform to a better situation at all. So it's not going to benefit this. And even worse, like maybe your face will transform to something very monster, something like that, like, yeah, I mean, it's not useful, right? Like out of anger, if you manifest, like it's not gonna benefit the situation that you wish to transform, and it's not gonna benefit you, right? So that's one thing. But if you do manifest, but without being overwhelmed emotionally by this bad state of mind, which is anger and others, and so you can really like speak clear you can have more clear mind understanding, and then you can see better the situation, and you can really fight properly to transform better the situation against just being overwhelmed by anger.
당에 빼시죠. 다.
For example.
자. 늘 전에 베드로를 진짜.
If I do like this and I throw to Pedro.
베드로. 네. 근데 내 저런서
You
따나
see?
저런서 따나 내가 그래서 내가 베드로를 내가 시비가나 가르스 때 알레 다제 레도도 이나 카더 도도지니 베드로를 시소 삼바도모도 잔다요마 이나 베드로를 빼 딘데 시온디 갈 빼나 가르 디 나노라 단다 도 도레 도 인송사 딘데 베드로를 시온디 갈 베드로 빼나 빼 아다 알아람니 지나서 가르나에 대페 카더 도도 레도도 지레와 레도도 제가 나고 말이야 삼바도 주로와 오 탑시 뜨니 지니 파션 걸라 이거레스 데 탑시 아무도 저로가 따나 미 잔다가 따나 다가제 레도도 지레스 이마데 코 시고사들 따다 빼 나오지 보고로 어디
Okay, let me give you through this illustration one way of how to manifest. Okay, like this. And so I take one. What I have here, I have this is a stone. Okay, visualize this as being a stone, very big and heavy stone. Okay, okay, and then I how to say this in English? And then I wrap in this white kata, white fabric. Okay, and then I throw to Pedro. When I throw to Pedro, and then he just took here, and then you took here, and all of you are watching this scene, okay? And then all of you are, what is Geshe doing? It's just throwing this like ball of fabric, like it's not gonna harm him. Okay, so nobody is even going to think bad about what I just did. But Pedro knows that here is inside here is a very big stone. And so when he received this, he's, I can't believe that he did this. Sort of, it's not going to harm, but he will feel what I throw like that. So you have to do like that. So you have to intelligently, like, put your arguments in a very sort of better way, like just sort of wrapping in a nice fabric, so people will not notice that it's really like punctual your argument. And then you took a throw, but you know, and the other person knows what is inside. So this is a way of
그래서 대난신그 안전하게 뭐이나 담보니 파쇼디 미 득장 통도 람사 컨트롤사 샤와이나 미도 다 컨트롤 랑서 다 공알라 다다 렌다다 테토 마리 삼부레 가르제 고 소소고 삼로 라안도 그래 아니 펜다 지 도로 지 시와이나 콜라 다다 펜 어서 본다니 식토고 마로와 아 딜리 가르제 소소 다기나시지니 탑시지니 미드가 또 렘보 가르로고 어디니 지금 야 장리 고쇼라고 말다 탑시기 돈이 파쇼 미들라 미드가 될
this stone illustration is not something that out of my anger, like revenge. My anger to affect negatively him is not this way. It's not this illustration. The point is, if I throw him a stone, like he immediately react with anger, right? And then everyone will, why he's reacting like that? But if I do like in a more smooth way, but still I'm throwing that stone, like, and even if he reacts with anger, like nobody, why he's just reacting with anger? It's not like that. Like what Geshe is throwing is something like more smooth, is not heavy and so forth. Likewise, when you give your arguments, you have to really put in the right place, like in the proper place, because you have to throw your argument. You have to display or throw the argument, but in a more in a better way, in order to that person to receive that argument.
Yeah. Kayimbayina yangarso dindichi dambi duga de mamboyo sonza kate chikchada nija kate chasochi yomarwa. De main sonza da garaze zu de gon yormochi gadina de subudo. 출리다 만들기 상주 어제야데 부 로투드 녀셔름 글로트가 나올 디 로첸데 샤 투고도 대치 샤바이나 디럽 글로종데다 아니 디그 야로 상주니데 zon드르게 돈 야야진 디니그 부고도 좀 마음발이야 결코 신신다 슬로 디리 차비 까블레 뭐니 잠불리레 십데 템미가 디니 미차 그래서 마돈 잠불린 글로종데 단단 난신진이 로와이나 Zamulila Chishibdes and with the Shidari Jayo Mares, the Cadin Tesson, the Chulu the Mandu Sancho said, Hajang pay money, Pelapchimuch, money.
Just like His Holiness all the time says, right? In order to really achieve this better state of life of word, like we have to transform the way of thinking and acting. And how can we do this in a non-religious or non-sectarian, non-separative way? Is through a more secular way, like a more human values through a secular way, like His Holiness start with the CE learning, right? That is just a secular way of promoting human values. But these human values, like for example, us, that we are already big and we already are educated in a not modern, in a contemporary education system. I mean, it's not useful. We already saw this, right? But if kids since very little age, they can study like the normal mundane studies and so forth, but together with the human values, then definitely they will be the one who they really can strive for a better world, a more peaceful, a more with more justice, like good justice in this world. We are already like educated towards just one wing of non-exactly human values, and then is, I mean, to hope for more peaceful way, I think is an empty hope. Empty hope.
Tandur Dishabana, Jersey Chimbo, Chunjikan on the Carson raised the gun. Tachi me do the same do to some of the Mebas Ogona, Mebas of Tuayo Mare, Mebas of Sarayo Mares. That Tilly Karche Gores, the Gala, Kerang Kondo the Kerang Dakoya, which you Kondo the Mebas show, Kerang Kondo the Mebas shoulder, and the Kerang young pay Devotibo Mares. Spain us. Keran Rosa, this Lamka Samalangi Koado, the Dinipe Kanamatu, Natil Pandu, Dini Kamba Sagidu Lamni, Dinichivina, Chuni Gopso Yomari, Koara Maris. Another Harris, Kiran the Kamba Chichumadelea, Lambochi Conshos. Can't Keran camping Olaya, Koachi Gashos. Koachi, that on the Kamba, Lambochi Conshoda. Keran Rosa Samala, Koa, Tima the Chivichi Canes.
So sometimes we have this wish of, okay, let's get rid of all the bad people in the world, of all the bad behaved people in the world. Well, you can raise this wish, but it's not gonna be accomplished, never ever, because first it's not possible to get rid of everyone, every bad people, and also there is no end to bad people. So, but what there is an end to the anger in our own heart and our own mind. This there is. So without this anger and without these bad states of mind, you can transform the world within around you. Yeah. Likewise, there is one very nice illustration that they say, well, from here until outside, I go with my barefoot, and I don't want to become dirt in my my foot, and so I'm gonna spread, the sole of the shoes, or from here until very far. Okay, what is easier, to put a sole from here? We covered the whole path until like the distance that I want to go, or just to put a sole under your own shoes. And so of course it's easier to protect your feet. You put a sole within your own under your own feet.
Kanganala do the Kawa Peshik Pop Dilijon, Takanganala the Michiko Mena, and in Rodeo Nima Shikimoshana, and the party Mupe Shino. Taimba so the dinner by the Nima the Duchin to pay, count the Duchin to in the pay Condolani Rodeo, Pento Chioma. That Diligarcia is Yana so the Muchin to the Mushin of which Conshawina. Takazim Mushin of Omalon, the Kernels of Jimani, the nigger poo. But not what in the poo. Da, I put in Rimbo, Ayaganama put in the didn't the top of Jimmy Koshana do it. Demana, Tanago, Solano within the Napo in the nation, Munila, the nation, the chick, so 판벌단 묵든 들이지는 나고 돈다 묵이 철로는 들이지는 나고 쳐잡아야 아니 저 강가 나로야나 저니 묵시고만 맞도 나 특바산에 강도 득자도 니마도 득자도 근데 거기 골 특바산에 도 되와이나 야 그지 펜도요 말봐 괜히 소소 근데 답시 찍고 니미시야
Di naza da woni tangere.
왜 나사 식침보 왜 나사 식침보 다
Premere di nakpodira. Nakpodikare di.
매 나보 근데 묵도 나사 묵시고 말이지
Oh yeah.
돈다 묵도 봐줘 강거 소소 내라 나사 마당을 pen고
Mhm. Just like I live in the library. When I come here, sometimes the sun is very, very strong, shining. It's very, very hot. So when I walk up here, sometimes it's very hot here. And also my eyes is, like coming water from the eyes, how to say? I'm crying, sort of, yes, tears. So tears are coming. And I could walk with tears, like, oh my God, this sun is so bad. I can't support it. I can't even stand with this kind of weather anymore. Like just complain all the time is gonna help. No, right? But I could maybe just put some sunglasses, or even like to use a band, sort of a band black black sort of black a black sort of fabric, let's resume, made by hair of yak. So and so we put some band here, and so the sun doesn't harm our my eyes. So depend on us, so how to react and what to do in order to react with less anger and so forth.
그나저 딱
Chiva.
무기니야 산섬니야 용데간에 재미라 되니야 파스요 말이 때문에 무기 강이 샤고모도 주 강식 진보 점니 되니 용데간 가시기 묵되니 그 되니 물을 담아도 묵시다 되니 고야 말은 묵 trolan도 샤니 아니 강간할 무저르모도 되간 파리세 자시 때문에 강바 제샤한주 락바 제 되니 배 몸부 쉬우리다 보바 가르지 무기니서 본니서 전셔를 내온 되간 다 강간할로 여름부 시분도고 되간나 되니 갑줄에 때 라보도 저야 보면 되간 강이 치료 되니 ben çarşı tip sazonda ko pema toba jadi kana kamba che lagba che ni tini mambo ngaso ndo yin bayin no gi sha kombu ne awde ngaso awse starting do de che tini ngaso phayi ni rokwa yin song sa tini che diga ngaso mule pun na ko do da yang de so la nak bokku ni tini awde kan mu ya tini kang çarşı tip ni tini cholan do maso ma to mi mambo yorda be kamba che ndo ni lagba che ndo ni mu cholan do be mambo chum muni.
I just remembered now when we are before, when so many Tibetans escaped from Tibet, right? And so we used to escape walking in the mountains, like 20, 30 days and so forth in the mountains, plenty of snow. And around the place called Shakumbura, around Shakumbura, there is near the frontier between Tibet and Nepal. So before arriving there, the snow was so high, so strong that all these whiteness of the snow really like harmed so much our eyes, and so many Tibetans in this route of escape, they really became completely blind because of these the strong light of the snow. And not only that, because we have to walk again day by day in the snow, so many they just froze the legs and the hands, that many of them they lost their legs and the hands because of the very strong cold. So this really happened. This really, like many Tibetans in this route of the escape route, they really lost their vision and so forth. But because in our case, this is a very sad but real situation, is true. But coming to our example here, like because we are from nomad families. Most of us here, these Geshes are all from nomad families, and so we are used to this very not nice weather and so forth. And so we all already painted our eyes here of black, and then we used this band to cover. And so none of us we became blind, and even none of us we also lost any member in this escape.
Also, 가르세 대가다 디니 tsayonye tsu tsama 강요산이 마요나 가르세 강매서 dinile 개미가 마음이도 저 상막배 람가를 거대여서 아니 딱강 식침보여서 dinile 거서 마음이도 대토우메인 손사 당아서 din이 마용 차고 어디 있잖아.
네, 챔버디, 람카 챔버.
멜랑관이 용 투고 말했어. 이게 강 가와요. 강가나는 거서 대토고 말어. 대토우메 등아서 din이 로레스.
Because when we were walking to India, like we had to walk towards the very heavy snow places, right? Because there was some routes, nice routes, but in the nice routes also there were plenty of Chinese police, and so we had to walk towards the very not nice path.
야, 나도 저는 tru도리도 담 돌디 샤바이나 아니 미 듣기안도 때미야 듣기안도 전에 소소 컨트롤사 되는 게 팬도메인 손사 소소 카운트 쳐도 돈이 라로 소소 문이 자서 제고야 됐다 돈다 수부 되리다.
So, but coming to our topic, and so just remember that it's not useful just to keep pointing, oh, that person is not nice, that situation is not nice, that activity or that action is not nice. This is not useful. It's not going to benefit you and others. So what you have to do is point and try to transform your own self. Okay.
가르레즈나 컨트롤사 되는 게 파쇼 미드가 소속은 노바던 톰바 디 나오냐 제가 말어. 그러봐. 그런 노바지를 그런 것도 노바나지 제니 로그마도 미소 참하게 소속은 노바나시 수근 게 제로 제가 말어. 그러봐. 다 소속을 조금다 소속 벤 참으시고요나요. 깎을래야 소속은 노바던 톰바 제로 제가 말도 이제 미소 참하게 소속은 노바던 톰바 제고 그래 삼나 땡가서 큐니 용말. 어디에 소자 디가 삼로도 다니. 알레 다 미소 참하게 인도바던 톰바 큐니 제가 말해 선바로 제마야네요. 소소 대세 콘도도 마 이제발 뱅그려봐.
Because actually those people that we become angry is actually just because they don't accomplish our own desire, our own thoughts, right? Because actually the people also our situation that we become angry is just when our desire and their actions are not harmonious or they don't come together. And even like our friends, why our friends or our beloved are our beloveds and friends? Because they accomplish what we think they have to do. And even sometimes when they do something or when they say something that we don't like, come against our own thoughts or opinion, and then we also have some problems. So the giving rights or space to this unlimitedness thought of, oh, if the whole world has to be like I think, it's completely unrealistic and not useful. So here we have to change, not try to change others because it's unrealistic.
Yeah, my question is how to transform this energy of fear and into love and compassion, like in practical, and more about the emotion, because in practical things, maybe it's easier to understand, but how to transform those emotions and to cultivate love and compassion.
Di shinan tang kre shinan da la soda shinan se shinan tang amtra la sopa countries champata ninje gyurto gyure kesna da pento kare yo tamet na kosora ane nintarki chava kare chegere tis kosora ine ampelcher ta don sornan pone senamido da ane kare nintarki chava chepedice countries muone sentine Chambata chamse kres gyurto gyure shinang chempoda kelse chambata ninje gomna shinang de nyamdo gyures oh de masosane shinang
잠세 간디진의 공부 식시ori 당고래라고 그래.
senada nintar kareche gore chikchena tiskoso kareche gorera chamse kandres gom gyure kareche gore hakoso inanta dum kandres ninje shenandi kandres chambata ninje ngo daoni gyurto gyures
제나도 잠바도 니지 뭐 간디진의 gyur고 되지.
kandres
말에 제나도 잠바도 니지 뭐 gyur에서 딜라고 말다. 가르레스디가는 잠바다 니지 지점고 공바 디초크 소소 제나도 뇽리도 그래. 제나식 총리도 그래요. 가르치니도 그래지디간 소소 지점고 셈젤라무비 니지다 제와도 요바이나 바쇼 셈제 간디지 요바이나 소소 그치 소소 조보 나신 그 삼로지 레온 그래서 셈제 간디지 요바이나 소소 조보 맨나 소소 조보 몸보지 요살라 소소 제나 기금도 Drobo dromola mini suzu jena kigo bar. Kare reisina kuzu samangi dropore. Ngala no kigo mare sabi samlo to yorba. Ode na shinga suzu chepanga semje mombo la mubi chamse to pa more semje mombo la mini gum to pa ina. Data gi suzu la no kigo ngre sabi jena nungri do ese.
It's not that the you said energy, but it's not that the fear will transform into love and compassion. It's not like that. But the point is, as much as you can cultivate, like through these steps, right? Like giving rise to more compassionable and loving attitudes and thoughts and so forth. If you habituate yourself again and again and again on thinking, not only me, but all others also, they want to be happy, not want to suffer and so forth. And then sort of you see everyone like very close, you see everyone like close to you. You feel like everyone more close to you, just like when you are with your friends or families and friends, like your good friends or good part of the family that you feel like near. Like when you're together with them, you don't feel fear, right? You're not afraid of being together with them, or you're not afraid that they will harm you, right? So why? Because you feel closeness to them. Likewise, if you cultivate this loving and kindness attitude, like again and again, you meditate or you think about this, and you are able to see everyone like just like you, like in the sense of wanting happiness and don't want suffering and so forth. So you end up seeing everyone like you feel like being very close to others. So even if it's not physically, or if you don't know the other person, but you feel like sympathy, empathy. Just let me just close. Yeah, and then because you feel, you give rise to this sort of more closeness or empathy towards others, and then you don't you don't feel this fear. You don't this fear doesn't give rise, doesn't arise in your heart. It's more like this, not that it will transform into love and compassion. It's not like that.
Pena jerang drobo lamini jenan de te shikchwan du mudu. Lewa koron drobo da koron be gaboni woyro. Dozo lamini pe jenan de shikchwan du mudu.
For example, let me